I think we are, we're going to, I think we're going live here, Kara.
Let's just do it.
And it just takes a little because there's some gaps, delays with Facebook.
Okay.
But we're live. Hey guys, welcome. We're so glad to see you. Welcome to the Seeds Storyteller Series to my sister.
Here.
Kara Valentine.
Hi.
I'm all threadsed up.
That's right.
Because Kara is the co-founder of Threads Worldwide, and I have my Tagua from
Ecuador. From Ecuador, yes. The
and
Tagua
these are
seed.
from where?
India.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is probably from India.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You do wear them so beautifully.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you what.
So guys, we are here to hear from Kara. And this Seed Storyteller Series is all about connecting you with incredible people around the world who are using their gifts, using their passions, using their whys to light up the world and to do this together. So do not think you're going to be a quiet participant. Our invitation is that you join the story, that the stories that Kara shares about her life. It's not like one of those sitting back sort of watching things, but that your heart beats fast, the tears get brought to your eyes, that you get a little glimmer of your next steps. And we have some incredible things to fuel that fire in our conversation today. And so just please comment, throw those emojis up, share. And speaking of sharing, what do we have? What's our...
I'm so glad you asked. We have a little giveaway that we're doing today. Are you going to try to win it? You're going to try to win it?
Try to win it.
So this amazing necklace, which you can't get anywhere else, it's not on sale on the site. This is a very, very special item that we are giving away. This is our purple Balbina necklace made by women in Brazil.
Wow.
It's made from banana fibers. Do you want to feel it?
I do.
Yeah, banana fibers.
Wow.
It's
That's
so cool.
Amazing. A banana fiber can make something so
It's
beautiful.
so beautiful.
So you're probably wondering, how do you win it? What's our giveaway?
Yeah.
Our giveaway is share it. Share this video, and every share enters you into the giveaway. So you share 10 times, you have 10 times to win this incredible piece, and we'll mail it to you next week. So you have till Sunday. So share all weekend long. So let me back up. Let me tell you who I am and what we're going to be doing today. So my name is Sarah Davison-Tracy. I'm an author, a speaker, founder of Seeds of Exchange, which I'll tell you about a little later. But here today in this, it'll be about a 30-minute conversation. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a moment to be still, just take a breath. Because if you're like Kara and I, we've been fighting traffic and dropping kids off, and the list is long of to-dos, right? No matter where we are and who we are. So we're just going to take a moment to catch a breath. And then we're going to listen to Kara's story in that engaged, kind of thoughtful, pondering, finding ways to loop it into our own stories. And then we're going to wrap up with an action, a committing session of just really seeing what has come to the top in your thinking, in your hearts, in your life. And we're going to invite you to just think about one step that you want to take, that you're inspired by Kara and by this conversation. So sound okay? And as we go, please do the comment, like, share thing, because that helps us a lot. And you'll see in the description, we have all kinds of cool links, and we're not going to mention them here because it's quite a mouthful with all the wwws. But check out the links in the description, and you'll be able to get to quickly some of the things that Kara is going to start sharing with us. So, my sister, I would love what we're going to start with in this conversation with Kara, founder of Threads Worldwide, co-founder of Threads Worldwide.
That's right.
Can't leave out the co.
No way.
is your why. Like, why are you doing this work? And where did it come from, this passion?
All right.
Which I don't know. I just realized before.
Okay. Are we starting with a moment, a quiet moment, or did we already do that?
We're totally starting with a moment.
Let's start
Thank
with
God
a
for the
moment.
sisters. That can remind me
I
to
was
be
so excited
still.
about it.
Okay, so truth be told, the reason I wrote these, the Soulfully book, the yellow one has 40, Live Ablaze has 10, because God knows I need the moments to be still, because I just said we were doing it and I got so excited I forgot. So here's the deal. We're just going to take a moment. If you're not driving, if you're not needing to feign working, maybe you're like typing and you're like, close your eyes just for a moment. Going to take a breath. Listen to the sounds around us. For me, I can hear our lawn. Oh, someone's mowing the lawn next door. I can feel Kara's arm on me. Just take a couple deep breaths. And remind yourself that you are a beer, not a doer all the time. Okay, welcome back. We do that because it is in those moments of being still that we are fueled for the conversations, for the work, for the things, the mighty unexpected things that always come our way in life. So go back to the moment of stillness. Have a friend remind you that you need a moment of stillness. Thank you. So we're now going to dive into Kara, her story and her life and her why.
Yes, let's do it. All right. So from the time I was a little kid, actually, all of these memories are surfacing. I was one of those kids that was like so into justice, which sounds really good on the surface, but what it looked like as a kid was like counting presents under the Christmas tree.
Yes.
You know, stuff that was super annoying, mostly as a child, but it's just been part of me from the time I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And so I started Threads with my two very best friends, Angela and Lindsay, who are just the greatest women in the world. And we traveled the world and we saw extreme poverty up close. And we would come home and just not be able to our very comfortable beds in Colorado and just not be able to sleep, knowing that this is how people were living across the world, right? And so we knew we wanted to start something that created impact, that made a difference on some level. We just had no idea what it was. So fast forward to 2011, I had a 2-year-old little munchkin and was 6 months pregnant with my second little munchkin. And she decided it was time to come out and surprise us. She was ready to be in this world.
Wow.
So that little baby just came home, thought I was getting the flu. A few hours later, she was born. She was the size of a $1 bill. Yeah, she was that big. Very, very, very sick little baby. And we were told by the doctors that it didn't look good for her survival. And so basically we were told by the doctors, my husband at the time and I were, prepare yourself. It's not looking great. And the day after we were delivered that news, I got a phone call from my aunt in San Francisco. And my aunt, when she was 10 years old, she fell out of a tree and was caught by a force and laid to the ground. She was 40. No, yeah, we're going to get a little woo. That's okay. We're going to get a little woo. Okay. So she fell out of a tree 40 feet up, was caught by a force when she was 10 years old, laid to the ground. So she's lived her life so passionate about understanding consciousness, really trying to figure out what was at play here. She's one of the most brilliant women. She's like director of IT at Berkeley and also on this quest to understand consciousness. She's pretty extraordinary woman. So she felt very, very connected from San Francisco to Bryn, my daughter, right when she was born. And she was doing a healing circle and with her friends, and one of her friends received some channeled information about my baby.
Wow.
So I get a phone call saying, I have some information about Bryn. Do you want to hear it? And at this point, I felt completely removed and out of control around whether or not this baby was going to survive. I really, at this time, I was like, well, she's going to survive if the doctors can save her, and she's not if they can't, not really feeling that a connection to or any sort of power in that until I got this phone call. And the information that I received was three things. Number one is Bryn got very, very scared when I would leave. She didn't know where I was going. She would get very sad and scared. So that what I needed to do was explain to her where I was going and just let her know that I was always going to come back. The second thing was she needed to know what to look forward to if she decided to stay. And the third thing was she needed to know what to heal in her body. Everything was failing and in such a dire situation that I had to find out from the doctors. My husband and I had to find out from the doctors, what is it that she needs to focus on right now? And it was her kidneys at the time. So I'm in her isolette, talking to her about why she should stay and telling her how much her mom and dad love her and that her sister is going to be her best friend forever. And that my sister was visiting from Boston at the time and she was getting married that summer. And we're like, you're going to be the tiniest, most adorable little flower girl ever in the history of the world. You got to stay. And the third thing was, it was her kidneys. So it's your kidneys, honey. You got to send all that light and love to your kidneys. We can do this together. And within 48 hours, the doctors came back to us and said, we're not really sure how to explain this, but now her levels associated with kidney function are now nearing the normal range.
Wow.
So we just kept at that. Then it was her heart and her lungs. And, after a few months in the hospital, we were able to take her home.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And I was really conflicted in the space of being so grateful that she survived, but also with my justice piece, like, why her? Why did she get to survive? Why were we granted this miracle when other babies around her were not did not have that same fate? So fast forward a couple months, we were flying. She was now 4.5 pounds. I had 2 jobs. I was a little busy, working from home with these 2 jobs, nursing my 4.5 pound on oxygen little munchkin. And we were flying to that wedding in Boston where she was she wore a little doll dress, a white little doll dress as a flower girl. And of course, Angela was on the flight with me, my best friend, because and Lindsay was meeting us there because we do everything together. So of course they were going to be at my sister's wedding. And Ange she was just acting weird. And I was like, what is going on with you? And finally she's like, okay, I have to tell you, I figured out what we're supposed to do for our business. And I said,
that was on this flight.
I've heard about
the flight. I didn't know it was.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. She decided that was the time.
Wow.
And I said, oh, this should be good. Like I said, I don't have a minute to do anything. So, okay, let's start a business. That sounds great. Sounds awesome. And I was like, okay, lay it on me. What's it going to be? And she's like, we're going to bring products in from artisan women around the world. And we're going to sell through a direct sales channel here in the US. So basically creating a business opportunity for women in the US to earn income, sell this jewelry, all this good stuff. And I was like, wow, that's quite an idea. We have no experience in any of those things. No international development, no retail, no direct sales. Wow. We're volleyball players, so we don't wear jewelry. But other than that, this sounds amazing.
Well, you have 1, 2, 3. We have heavy wrists.
We got some arm candy. Things have really, really changed. But I thought she was like going crazy. I was like, are you having some sort of break or like what's happening? And so we sat there and she's like, I know it sounds crazy, but I know it like in my bones. I know we're supposed to do this.
Wow.
And during that flight, I made the connection of, here I was given this miracle, the fact that I had the resources to have the best doctors working on my baby, and this miracle, my daughter survived because of these things. And here I'm given the opportunity or the calling to pour myself into work that's creating that opportunity for women around the world. And so, you get that, yes. You have the aha, you have the chills. I didn't understand really the chills at that time the way I do now, but we have a hashtag at Threads that's #TrustTheChills. And I had, you got to hashtag trust the chills. And so by the time the plane touched down, we were doing it. We went to the hotel, started on our business plan that we never used. And we were off to the races.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's sort of the background and my why.
So y'all, we told you we were going to loop it back throughout this conversation. So trust the chills. What's been a chill moment for you that you don't understand, but that something in you knows there's something for you? Yeah. And then, is there a moment going on right now, or was there one in the past where something came to you, an idea that did not make sense, was not well timed, maybe came from someone outside of your own personal interior inspiration, or from within? What is it? What was it? And is it something that you have been cultivating? Share your story. Is it something that you are terrified to cultivate? Comment and share. And join the conversation. All right. So, Kara, that was 2011.
Yes.
And what has happened in these years since?
Yeah. Well, I've started wearing jewelry.
I mean, for real.
That's big. Like Angela has too. So that's a big deal. So now we are we're partnering with women in 15 developing countries around the world.
And you were just in Guatemala.
Yes.
Last week?
Yes. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
I love it there so much. I love it there so much. We were there creating, working with our partners to create designs for our new line, our next launch.
What was your hashtag Trust the Chills moment there?
Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked. I had such an aha moment around my role and contribution within the Threads organization.
Really?
Yeah. Completely got the chills, just got really aligned with, I'll share a little bit of the story if that's okay.
Please.
Okay. So I was meeting with Marla, who's one of the women. So we partnered with this cooperative, and there are 20 different groups around Guatemala of women working for this cooperative. So we got to visit. We've had the opportunity and privilege to visit a lot of them. So we visited a new one, and we met Marla, who runs the business essentially. And I was talking to her. She was sharing her story a little bit about she had kids, and she had a daughter, and at the time, daughters, it was not acceptable for women to work in this village. It wasn't acceptable for little girls to go to school. And she had this baby, and she was like, no, I want my daughter to be educated. So she brought it up to her husband and her dad, who said, what is the point of that? What's the point in investing in education for a girl when she's just gonna grow up and have a boyfriend and get married and have babies? It doesn't make sense for girls to be educated. And that's the culture there. And so what she did was she started working with this cooperative so that she could earn income, so that when she went to have the conversation again and they said no, she could say, this is my money.
Wow.
This is my money, and I'm going to put it into my daughter's education. And she had to have that conversation and show up with that level of courage and bravery every time her daughter's Roseo, every time she graduated. So from elementary school, then they said, okay, that's enough. And then she said, no, this is my money. I want her to go to, secondary school. Okay, no, this is my money. I want her to go to high school. Well, we got to meet Roseo, and I'll share a picture of her in the comments at some point.
Please do.
She's the most beautiful, shining light. And she's now in her second year of university.
Oh my gosh.
We asked her what she was going to do with her education, and she said, I'm going to be a school teacher. And that's what her body did.
Oh my gosh.
Every time she said it, she shuddered like that. I was like, oh, my heart, I can't, it's too much.
Yeah.
So now you think of the ripple and the impact from Marla just showing up and saying, no, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be brave. So now her daughter's educated. So now she's going to teach all of these other kids. And it's just like, holy moly. Okay. So my aha moment was when I promised her in Spanish. So this is what, in my opinion, I said. Who knows what I actually said, but my sentiment was, I'm going to do everything in my power to be the best partner that I can be for you.
Oh my gosh.
So that you and all of the women around you can continue to make your dreams come true. Yeah. And I realized I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing everything in my power. And I had a little serious talk with myself to figure out, Kara, what are your gifts? Like, what are your gifts, and what is your passion, and how do you marry those to make the biggest impact that you can within the organization? So I came back. Yeah, it was, that was #TrustTheChills. So I came back and shifted my role within the company.
What's one thing you came back with? Different.
Yeah. So a little bit about our business model. Basically, like I said, we're a direct sales company. So women join the team, they purchase a launch kit, the jewelry, and then they earn commission on everything they sell. They sell through what we call artisan showcases. So home parties, but home parties where we're showing the jewelry and sharing our dream and our vision for the world that we want to help create. So what I realized was I wanted to shift my role to be way more involved with our community here in the US, and to get just down and dirty and be so related to the women's, the women here. What are their dreams and what are their goals, and how can I be the very best partner to each one of those women to make their dreams come true?
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, so I'm going to read this. So,
okay.
Kara is, for those of you that are just meeting her today, like, you get it, right? This smile that lights up the room, this passion, this energy, this sass, and like soul intelligence that I'm inspired by, and I love you. Oh. But she sent this out. Like, she's someone that when she sends an email and I'm reading the words, like, I hear the laughter and I hear the grit and I hear it. And so she sent this out in September. And I'm going to ask her to share, like, what was the #chills moment here. And here's what how she introed the email. Have you ever had an idea that gives you the chills all over your body? We have a theme here. This was not intended. An idea that keeps you up at night because you can't stop thinking about all of the possibilities. Okay, friends, if this is speaking to you, what's your jam? What's keeping you up because you're so excited and maybe terrified? Okay, don't forget it. Like, cultivate that heat. She says, me too, and I can't wait to share this one with you. As Threads founder and a mother, I have long sought to find a way to balance parenting and work. When I'm at home with my kids, I often find my mind wandering to all I could be doing at work. I call this in my mind the freight train of possibilities, of connections, and sometimes it's really juicy and awesome, and sometimes it's like terribly troubling. Yeah. At work, I feel guilty for not being at home. I know I'm not the only one to bear this burden. No, you are not.
No.
Although I have made huge strides in learning to be present where I am and reminding her friends to do be still moments when she says she's doing them, I've continued to yearn for a way to bring these two worlds, motherhood and work, together in a way that fulfills my commitment to both. Cliffhanger. Kara, what was your idea?
Okay, so I was in Florida meeting with some of our fair trade partners. We have a kick-ass crew of women in Tallahassee, Florida. And I was at a showcase at a party with them. And one of the women that was attending came up and said, I would love to do a showcase, but include kids. How can we bring kids into this conversation? And right when she said it, every hair on my body stood up. I was like, like everything was standing up. I was buzzing to the point where I said, okay, not to be weird, but I need to step away for just 30 seconds to get myself together, because everything it was like so activated that I couldn't handle it. So that was the beginning of the year. And since then, I just haven't been able to stop thinking about it, talking about it, wondering about it. And, at the showcases, yes, we're talking about the jewelry, but the jewelry is really a vehicle and an invitation to a much bigger conversation about what is possible when we bring people together, when we shift the culture from one of competition to one of collaboration. What does it look like to bring our true selves to the table in all of our interactions? What does it look like to have a community of people who have our back? What would the world look like if that's the way the world was run? And that's what we believe is possible. And that's what we're working to create in this lifetime. And so we really get into it with women, and women are amazing. Women reinvest 90% of their income back into their families. They're so powerful. And so we really work to invest in women and have the conversation with women. But what's coming up for me in these days is, how do we bring more people into the conversation? How do we bring men into the conversation? How do we bring kids into the conversation? As my daughters are growing up, and I'm starting to hear about just some girl stuff, some mean girl stuff. And what if we have the opportunity to bring kids into the conversation so that they're feeling less isolated. They're feeling like they have a community. They're feeling like they're part of something bigger than the, little stuff that's happening at school. And so it was interesting. Angela and I, one of my business partners and best friends, we were talking about it, and we kept calling it the mother-daughter pilot program. And I was like, no, I don't want it to just be women, So we were sitting on the beach. Again, we do a lot together. So she was with me on my family vacation in Maine, and we were sitting on the beach together brainstorming. And I said, we need a new title. And out of nowhere, my 9-year-old says, how about the Threads Collaboration Club? And I said,
oh my gosh.
How about it?
How about it?
So it really, we're piloting right now. We're bringing kids into the showcase conversation. We have fair trade partners. So women are salespeople who are bringing their daughters into their business. So not only is it, making them a part of this grander conversation about how we can make the world a better place, but also teaching them what it takes to run a business, run a social impact business, budgeting, setting goals, accountability, connections, all of those things.
And I have a link in the description to a video that Kara and her girls shot when they were launching it on your couch, right?
You don't even know, I almost quit the collaboration club before it started because of doing that video. They were like all over the place. I'm like,
and you gotta go to the end, because what's your eldest daughter?
Adrian.
She comes right up to the camera, and she's like, I don't know, she does peace. Or
peace.
She's just
they also randomly started singing the Girl Scout song.
Oh yeah, they were singing.
Out of nowhere. I was like, make new friends. I was like, all right, okay, that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, like we said, we just bring our true authentic selves to the table every time.
Yeah, right. So, and I also have a link in the description to the Facebook Threads Collaboration Club Facebook page if you want to check out and join. And I'm a part of the Threads sisterhood and brotherhood, and I love these folks. They are amazing. And one of the things that I think about a lot in the world is, in my everyday life, is there's so much in the world that is hard, that the thought pattern is like, dang, what can I do about that? Yeah. And there are plenty of things that I believe it's true. Like, there's not much I can do about that. But there is we were just talking before we went live, there's so much we can do together. Yeah. So much, so many things we can do that will make the world better, that will bring connection, that help bring like dreams. Is it Rosario? Rosario. I mean, I want to meet Rosario and hear her dreams and be a part of that. And that is what Kara and her besties have launched into the world. And so if Threads excites you, please ping like in the messages and comments below. And if there's something from Kara's story that has nothing to do with Threads that has inspired you or like gotten you curious or uncomfortable, perhaps, like, what is it? Share. Let's keep the conversation going. So we're gonna wrap this conversation with that question. Like, what is one thing that you heard today or that you felt today? A story of Kara's, a word that connected you with something that has happened years ago or yesterday that you want to pay attention to. What is one thing that you are feeling drawn to commit to? Whether that is a new way of thinking about something, a new way of doing something, a connection with a person. Maybe it's us. Like, if that's your thing, hallelujah. And let's loop in with each other. And Kara, I did want to ask you, what is something right now that you shared a bit about it very organically from the hashtag chills moment that came your way in Guatemala. But what's something that you're feeling really drawn in your life to commit to, either in a brand new way or in a deeper way in your everyday life?
Yeah, the thing that I'm being really pulled, because I've been so outwardly focused recently, I'm feeling a real calling to like create health in my own life. I feel like I've been going through a ton of transition, and I've been really, sort of in survival and like I said, outwardly focused. I'm feeling a real pull to really invest in my own health, knowing that there's no way I'm going to be able to continue doing the work that I do if I don't take care of myself first.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Yeah, because I think a month ago or 6 weeks ago when we talked, you were sick, and then I got sick.
But you healed me.
We did healing. We did a prayer,
and then she checked this sweet woman. And then she checks it like with everything, writing books, creating all these programs, being a freaking amazing leader. And she reaches out to me the next day. How are you feeling? I've been thinking about you. I'm like, how do I get so lucky?
Yeah, I feel the same. For me, something I've been thinking about lately, I just had my birthday last week, and that tends to be for me a time that I take to kind of reflect on the past year and take a gander at the next year. And I will say what it's not quite committing to, but I can feel something coming that both exhilarates me and causes me to tremble. And it is something around having courage to be way more gritty and way more edgy, and to speak about what really matters to me, and to be willing to not look great as I do it, like to be willing to kind of fall on my face as I'm learning and as I'm going, and to just be a little bit more be a lot more real in my, this, we're talking marriage, motherhood, this work of Seeds of Exchange, these books that I'm writing, speaking, all of it. And it's like, as I was sitting on the couch, kind of writing in my journal on my birthday, I was like, oh, this is gonna be hard.
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard.
And free. Like that's the other thing. It's like, I just feel this, like, it's just time to get more free.
Yeah.
But it's not, it's I can feel it's uncomfortable, and I want it and need it with all myself.
Oh, I relate to that so much. Oh,
so I don't know. Stay tuned for that, peeps.
Yeah.
So what's your thing? Comment below. If it's too gritty and hard, vulnerable to share, private message me. And we have a little candle flickering next to us, and I have a prayer bowl of people and requests that I hold close to me as I go about my work. And this candle is flickering all day long. I'll post a picture of it. Closing, burning, last sign off. Hero words.
Yeah. Just one thing that it keeps coming up for me is just really being real about, like, what is it in your life that breaks your heart?
Yeah.
And go in there. That's your sign of where to go and what to dig into. And we're living in some rough times, so just finding your people and leaning in.
Yeah. Holy moly. I'm going to sit with that all day long. And I don't think we can go towards what breaks our heart alone. I don't think it's advisable.
No.
And I have gone there, and it's been really just a bugger. So don't do it. Make sure you share. If you're going there, share it with someone. Because that's brave and not easy. So I just want to sign off and say you're loved. You matter. You belong. We belong to each other. And let's light up the world together, and stand tall and get close to what breaks our heart and rise around that. So love you guys. Thanks for being a part.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Peace. I'm going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Peace.
Oh, Lordy.
That part.
Oh, that was good. It was good.
Oh, so fun.